Former two-division champion Conor McGregor is open to a future UFC fight with Paddy Pimblett. McGregor was in attendance at last night's Bellator 275 event in Dublin to support his SBG teammates Sinead Kavanagh and Lee Hammond. While there, the Irish star had a chat with UFC World where he was asked to comment on Paddy. "He's a good kid, Paddy," McGregor said. "The Scousers. You've got to love the Scousers. You know, my father was born in Liverpool. One side of my family is from there. So I've got a lot of love for that part of the world. And, who knows? You know, I will never say no to nothing. You know what I mean? Never say never, as they say." Conor McGregor has not competed in combat sports since suffering a broken leg in his trilogy fight with Dustin Poirier this past July at UFC 264. With that said, the Irishman recently suggested that he will be ready to return this summer. This while encouraging current UFC lightweight champion Charles Oliveira to wait for him. As for Paddy Pimblett, the baddie made his octagon debut this past September in Las Vegas, where he scored a first-round knockout victory over Luigi Vendramini. The win marked Paddy's third in a row and fourth in his past 6 fights overall. Would you be interested in seeing a future UFC fight between Conor McGregor and Paddy Pimblett? Who do you think would emerge the victor? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Conor McGregor was speaking yesterday, and he said maybe he deserves a title shot. Do you have any concern that he would step in, or maybe would you even want to fight him?
Honestly, I don't remember when this guy beat someone. He have to come back, beat someone, and let's go. Why not? I'm gonna smash him like easy. Not Bobby Green. He's gonna be hard for me more than for him.
All right, Islam, a lot has been made about you being the second coming of Khabib Nurmagomedov. And while Khabib was still training, he was top dog. But Khabib is no longer fighting. So how does the practices look now? How does the practices look with you and him?
But now I cannot practice. Maybe you, now you same way do
I
you
was gonna say different.
but
No.
You have to care, but maybe he gonna come back, but and he not gonna be 155. He fight 170 for sure.
Oh, he fights light heavyweight, 205.
Yeah,
205.
Bilal came by before and said the same thing, that heavyweight Khabib is a little bit different.
Made a comment basically indicating that he wants to return against Paulo Costa. He says, "Paulo is a guy that I don't like, and I think disrespects the sport and motivates me to fucking correct it. I think it's a fun fight. I think I can go show him the door."
I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of this fight. Paulo's coming off of losses. There's not a lot of hype around him. I love the Strickland fight. The Strickland fight to me is the fight to make. I don't know why he's calling out Paulo. I mean, like, I don't know. It just, there's no reason to fight him. He doesn't.
And there's
make
no
weight.
reason if you're Sean Strickland to fight Luke.
Well, they'd already matched. I know, but they'd already matched it up.
And what did Sean? Sean already went out and fought another fight against Hermanson, gets a win. Luke Rockhold is in the rearview mirror. I'm just being honest.
The UFC wants to see that fight, so it doesn't matter whether the UFC. No matter, doesn't matter what Strickland says. He's already said he'll take the D.
He already said
he'll take the D,
I'm
whatever
a company
Dana
man.
D is.
I'll suck that D.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. He'll take the D.
This is true.
It's just lips and butt, right? Lips and hips is what you said. That's what.
And lips are lips and hips are hips.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Sean Strickland will take the D, let him take the D. Like, he's gonna take the L probably against, I think, Luke. I think Luke gives him the L. It just,
Which is why you, being the homer that you are, go, I don't like this fight against Paulo Costa. I think the Strickland fight because you think that your man in Luke Rockhold has an advantage in getting a win against one over the other.
Let me ask you this, John. What Strickland has is Strickland beat a former champion?
Has he beat a former champion?
Has he beaten a former champion?
No,
I don't think so. So what do you mean? Like, this is something. Where is Luke Rockhold? Luke Rockhold's ready. He's a former champion. Let's see you beat a former champion. Let's see if you can do it. Like with Paulo Costa, like he's coming off 2 losses. And whether you call me a homer or not, I'm a very good matchmaker, by the way.
Excuse me. How many losses is Luke coming off of?
It's true. Time away, though. Okay. Time away. Former champion. There's one thing you can't take away from people is that the fact that he can say former champion.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. And I think, 3? Is it 3?
No,
2. Oh, you got to win in there against David Branch. He had a loss before that too, where he lost the title.
He did.
So he lost to Bisping, he lost to Yoel Romero, and he lost to Jan Blachowicz when he went up to 205. So let me break this back down. He lost to Bisping, who was the champion, who actually beat a lot of other people after he beat
first off,
Luke.
Bisping wasn't the champion. Luke was, and Bisping had never been champion when he won that fight. In fact, Luke disrespected Bisping like a motherfucker, saying that he didn't even belong in the cage with him. I can tell you he was in the back fucking just like, this ain't shit. I'm going to walk through him.
John.
Being honest.
I know.
It was a mindset.
I understand what you're saying. I didn't say he was the champion. Then I said he beat some other champions after he beat Luke. I said after that he went on and he won a couple more fights as the champion.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Yes,
you got
you're right.
a little hot and heavy. You got a little hot and heavy too
Hold on.
fast, buddy.
Hold on a second. I apologize.
There it is. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you yelling at me right now? It was like I felt like we were getting I was getting a text message all in caps.
Way to go, Fish.
David Branch, he had a win over David Branch. He didn't look good against David Branch though. Luke didn't. Remember, he got pieced up in the first round a little bit. I was like, what are you doing?
But then he turned it on.
He turned it around. I know he did. He did turn it around. I get it. Then he fought Yoel Romero. Bad matchup. Power, explosiveness. And then he went up to Jan to fight Jan at 205.
Power,
but the thing is, you look at it, right? Yoel is one of those guys. It's a tough fight for everyone. Yoel's a tough fight for everyone.
Yeah.
So at that time, then you look at Jan. Jan became champion right after that. Jan, he started becoming champion. He made his run.
Jan was on a run.
He was on a run.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take anything away from Luke. Now you're going to tell me that Sean Strickland's fought someone as good as Yoel, someone as good as Jan?
I'm not saying that he has fought the quality that Luke has, especially if you're going to look at those last 5-6 names. Luke's got it on him, no doubt about it. As far as who's got the credentials in better names, Luke is. That's why he was champion. But when you're sitting there looking at this and going, Paulo got some names on his too. All right, he's got the names, and he's got a win against Yoel. And so he's got Johnny Hendricks and people like that on his resume also. Yeah, he's got the losses, the last couple. Especially the one to Izzy didn't. He just did not look good, and Izzy just took it to him. But you look at this fight, I don't think it's as bad as what you're thinking. I think that, yes, Luke at times gets too much into being a stand-up guy because he's slick. He's a technical fighter, and he's got beautiful kicks. He hides them well. He's got power on him, but his ground game is what made Luke Rockhold who he was. People underestimated Luke's ground continuously. It's almost like that Gegard Mousasi thing. They don't give him credit for being as good as he is, and Luke on the ground is good. That dude is phenomenal on the ground, and there's a huge difference between his ground game and Paulo Costa's ground game. So if I look at this fight, I go, this is not a bad fight for him. I understand why he's calling him out. See, I'm on your guy's side. I kind of like it. Yes, he can get knocked out by Paulo. He absolutely could. And if he decides to just keep this thing on the feet the whole time, that might just happen. But he has
get knocked out by Strickland too. He can get knocked out by Strickland.
Absolutely.
Also.
But he has a clear path to victory against Paulo Costa. He's just got to make the fight go in that direction. Is he smart enough to do it? Yes. Will he do it? That I can't say because he's a stubborn, prideful sumbitch. And he wants to prove things.
I understand what you're saying, but I think, look, if you're Luke, knowing that you're the former champion, that people can make their name off of you, and if you want to have someone that you're going to jump right into title contention, he's not getting any younger. Paulo Costa's going the opposite way. Why are you calling him out? Pick out the guy that you were scheduled to fight against Strickland.
But this is the norm. But this is the norm for the UFC, is they like to take guys that have one loss or two losses in a row, put them together so they get one of them back on the winning side. Strickland's on a winning streak. He hasn't been beaten. And so I just don't see them going back to that fight. I think Luke looks at it the same way.
I don't know. I think put yourself in that Strickland fight, because I think it's going to be a little bit easier to take Strickland down than it will be to take Paulo Costa down and hold him down. If you look at when Yoel Romero had a hard time getting Paulo Costa down and was having a hard time with the explosiveness of keeping him down. And so if I look at the fight, I look at if Luke gets Strickland down, I'm sure he's going to have a hard time. I get it. But I think he beats him. I think he beats him on the ground. I think he's able to get him down, once or twice.
I think he beats either guy on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground.
It's if he decides to keep it in the stand-up, becomes a different scenario.
But see, that's the thing to me also. I think even with Strickland will walk forward, and except for in his last fight, he will walk forward and deliver shots. He'll leave himself out of position.
Strickland was walking forward.
Not in the last fight. Remember, he stayed a little bit more on the outside. No, in his last fight, it wasn't an exciting fight, John.
You're right. He didn't march Hermanson down so much because Hermanson
didn't throw a lot
right there. He didn't throw enough, but he definitely got the win.
No, I didn't say that. Don't make me out to be the bad guy.
I'm not making you out to be the bad guy. You just are the bad guy. There's a difference.
It's all the gray in your beard. Everyone just thinks you're like Santa. It's not fair. It's not fair.
I might be like Santa anymore.
All right, everyone. Go to mybookie.ag. Use the promo code WeighingIn, and you can make bets on every sport there is: basketball, tennis, soccer, golf. And even during the election time, they had bets on that. They've got different types of bets for all different sports, and including one of our favorite sports that we love to talk about, MMA, and also boxing. So make sure you go to mybookie.ag, use the promo code WeighingIn.